Hey guys, this is here we Binge 44 with another installment of Random Stack of Comics. First off, we got Robin number 2 from the I think it was like early 90s run of Robin. This is Tim Drake, the third Robin. And like I've said in the other videos, mainly when I first started collecting comics, it was in the 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s when I really started kind of getting into it, and Robin he appealed to me. I was I was a younger person, at the time, and I was like, hey, Robin, the boy wonder, hey, why not? And this is actually, looking back at these are not really that bad comics. I kind of like them. I like because this run was cool because it was kind of like Batman, but just more of a smaller scale. Like Robin, he always had trouble with his villains, and he wasn't quite as as capable as Batman. So they made for some really cool comics. Some realistic stories. Here we have Squadron Supreme number 8. This was part of a maxi series that Marvel did, where and then this was basically alternate universe of Marvel, where it was basically DC universe. This is basically like a commentary on what Marvel's take of what their DC characters would be like. Because all the characters in this comic book are basically copies or knockoffs of Marvel of the big DC characters. And this is what if the DC, what if this comic book was, what if the Justice League became evil and started enforcing their own will on the people? It had a very Watchmen feel to it. This guy right here, this is a Superman knockoff, and you see their Flash knockoff over there, and the yellow costume, and there's a Wonder Woman knockoff, and Green Lantern, all that good stuff. Pretty cool comic. It was a good series, very good series. I actually have a couple Daredevils this time because I'm a big Daredevil fan. They just happen to be in the pile. This is Daredevil: The Man Without Fear, part number 5. This was a very popular miniseries at the time. It was basically a re-imaging of his origin story by Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. I mean, you don't get much better than Frank Miller and John Romita in the same comic. So cool, very cool covers, by the way. All 5 of these have pretty cool covers. Here we have another Daredevil. This is like I really like this. I just want to talk about this because I like this cover because it's a very cool gimmicky cover. The idea is that this villain right here, this is like this evil devil thing that Daredevil was fighting, and Daredevil couldn't see him with his radar, so he was completely blind to Daredevil. So I like the concept of this cover because the whole cover is like in braille, like it's not really braille, but it's like a material that you can feel. It's very textural. If you actually feel in this comic, you can feel all the white. You can feel everything on this page except for the red guy. He just feels like normal paper. So the idea is that Daredevil can see everything on this cover except for the guy right underneath him. So I like that concept of that cover. It's pretty cool. Sorry, dropped the comic. It's pretty cool. Next up, we have the original Dick Tracy, number 3. This is I picked a couple of these up the other day because they were really cheap, $2, and they're kind of cool. Me and my brother have always really liked the old school, stuff like this. Classic Dick Tracy. You can't really say anything else about it. You just have to buy it. We have Doctor Who and Star Trek, number 5. I think it's like a 7-issue miniseries. I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and this is actually a really good time for comic book lovers to be into Doctor Who because he's got his own comic book series right now, and he has this series. And this is pretty cool. This is a fanboy's wet dream. It's Star Trek and Doctor Who teaming up to fight this Cyberman and the Borg. It's a kick fest, really. Here we have Starman, number 67. This was actually a really popular comic at the time. A very different comic book. Interesting. Really cool cover here. Really cool, kind of almost Alex Ross like cover. It might actually be Alex Ross doing this. I'm not sure. It looks like him. This Starman was basically a very reluctant hero. It just kind of fell in his lap, and he was kind of forced to have to take the mantle of his father. But he really wasn't a hero. He didn't want to be a hero. He really didn't. I always thought his comics were cool because he was just a very different kind of superhero. He was basically forced into everything. He was forced to have to make the right decisions, and the consequences of them. And it's just, I don't know. I haven't really seen a character that was this real, since Spider-Man. It was cool. Here we have The Walking Dead number 100. It's an amazing comic. Walking Dead is just a great comic book, but this is a great issue. The 100 issue actually starts up a new story arc, which is basically this issue and all the issues after it. Which I think there's 6, are basically their own self-contained story. I mean, you don't even really have to read the old ones to kind of get what's going on in this one. I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't read this comic, but a major character does die. I will not spoil who it is, but a major cast member for the TV show in the book does die in this issue. It's a great issue. Now I will tell you guys, if you don't like really depressing, sad moments, don't read this. Don't read the comic book at all. Don't even read the series. Here we have Catwoman number 1. This is 90s Catwoman at her best. She was getting kind of popular at the time. This was like a solo comic that she had. I don't think it was a miniseries. I think it was actually a comic book. But yeah, get that one up a while back. Okay, let's see if I got a couple cuts. Got Karate Kid number 1. This is a spin-off of Legion of Superheroes, focusing on Karate Kid. And he was never really that popular of a character, but I think this was probably made right after the Karate Kid movies, which just used his name but didn't actually have anything to do with the character. So I think that was DC's way of trying to cash in on the Karate Kid movies and trying to sell some comics, which is pretty smart. But he was a cool character. I always liked him. He was one of my favorite Legionnaires, but he died really early on in the series, and he actually stayed dead for a really long time, which doesn't usually happen in comic books. Usually your characters come back somehow. But he actually stayed dead for like probably 20-30 years until just recently when they started redoing their whole continuity. Don't even get me started on the whole continuity issue with DC. I basically swore off all DC comics because of this. This is Mr. T number 1. I had to get this. You don't see a Mr. T comic book and then just pass it up. You just don't. I've never actually read it, but it's Mr. T. Shit. I pity the fool don't buy this fucking comic. Then we have The Champions, number 17. The Champions was a kind of a weird comic. It was kind of a weird superhero team comic because it was like they basically took all these really little known, or not little known, but they basically took all these B-listers and put them in a team together. And it was a really weird mismatched team. Like Angel was the leader of the team. Like he left the X-Men and joined this team. Him and Iceman left the X-Men and joined this team. And it's like, who the hell follows Angel in leadership? I mean, really? Why would Angel be a leader? The team also had Hercules and Ghost Rider and Black Widow, and I think the Hawk was actually was a member for a while. It was just a really weird team because, I mean, look at it. Ghost Rider and Hercules are not really team players, so it's kind of weird to have that kind of team going on. And here, the last comic I'm going to talk about in this segment is G.I. Joe yearbook number 1. This was the yearbooks were basically kind of like an annual, you would do it once a year, and they were like basically kind of they had backstories and reprint stories and just nice. It's a really big thick book. Like it was definitely worth your money back in the day. Let's see if I can take it out for a second. I mean, yeah, see the volume of this book. It's nice. It's probably like, there's not a page count, but it's a lot. And in the back it has some stuff, some like what do you call these, file cards on the people to explain the history of these characters. Firefly and Storm Shadow and Duke and stuff. So overall, pretty cool comic. Really fun. The G.I. Joe comics were really cool back in the day. I mean, as awesome as the cartoon was, the comic was probably better. And Marvel, I mean, it went on for a long time too. They did it for a really good long time. Well, that's all I've got for this segment. Stay tuned for some future issues or episodes. I haven't figured out what I want to call these yet. I'll probably go with issues, comic book theme. Well, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned.